Alright, so this is Diesel We the People News. Alright, this video is without prejudice and without recourse. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and stand on the UCC 1-308 just to be on the safe side. Alright, I never look straight forward. I always look around me to be able to protect myself by any means necessary. Anything I say or do is just my opinion. I cannot give legal advice. Why? Because I'm not an attorney. I can't get a fake license for some reason. Alright, I'm not bound to the bar and all that. I try to practice this stuff to learn it and try to get it right. Alright. This guy's becoming one of my favorites. He's in your face, direct to the point. By the way, disclaimer, there's going to be languages in here for age and majority. Alright, so take off your adult hat and actually put your age and majority hat on. Alright, there's going to be languages is for age and majorities. Alright, let's learn some crap. What do you think? Oh, by the way, subscribe to this guy, okay? Where the storm gather. I'm hesitating. Where the storm clouds are gathering, okay? This is a very long videos, so this is going to be shifting 4 different places, and I'm trying to keep it short and sweet, and I'm screwing it up. Alright, let's go.
Greetings and good morning. We get started this morning. Long night of studying on the upcoming class, and have you ever been billed for merchandise you either returned or never received? Has your credit card company ever charged you twice for the same item or failed to credit a payment to your account? While frustrating, these errors can be corrected. It takes a little patience and knowledge of the dispute settlement procedures in order to enforce your rights. Something that we're going to be covering in the future class on debt validation and correction of your record dealing with credit. And we're going to seek to help you guys improve your credit immensely and get what is rightfully due and owing to you, which is a fair and accurate reporting. Now, there are some of my friends who study the law who don't like the legal side of things, and I don't fault them at all for that. But I'm here to tell you that you have the power to engage in commerce and remain on the private side simultaneously, and that you, if you so choose, can do so with impunity, okay? It's something the government can't do. They are strictly in commerce. Under the Clearfield Doctrine, it lays it out very clearly that when they engage in commerce, they are diminished to that of a mere person. They can sue and be sued, and they have no special rights. In fact, what they have is privileges, and those privileges can be taken away pretty quickly. All right, and they're 100% liable, and there's no 11th Amendment immunity when they're engaged in commerce, okay? We should also take note that the law should bind those who make it. So when we think about it in the grand scheme of things, man created government, God created man, man subservient to God, and government is subservient to man. You know how to carry and conduct yourself. These are facts, ladies and gentlemen. They are undisputable. Can't get around them. Don't care who the fuck you are. You could be the Supreme Court Justice of the United States. I give a shit not. You are bound by that Constitution, and I am supreme over you. Okay? That's just how it works. That doesn't mean I have to be an egotistical maniac or asshole to enforce my point. I'm just simply showing you how this system works. Alright? Police powers is a fucking joke. Okay? They don't have special authority granted to them by some emergency. And if you've noticed, since 1871, there's always been a declared emergency because Abraham Lincoln did a proclamation or a declaration to start a war and never got the opportunity to do the proclamation to end it. And from that point, we have always been in a perpetual conflict of interest where there's always been a national emergency, okay? And and it's just escalated from the Emergency Banking Act and banking holidays to the war on.
Just to bring it up, okay, when they shot Lincoln, right? The Civil War never ended. Okay? No presidents actually ended the war. And World War I, by the way, has never ended either. No presidents ended that.
Drugs, to the war on kids in school, to all kinds of different bullshit and rhetoric, all right? But nowhere in the Constitution does it grant them the ability to suspend the Constitution indefinitely because of a declared emergency, and that is super important to comprehend. These people do not have the power to do that. And under Title 28, 3002, 15A, B, and C, because people leave out B and C, they, for some reason, just gravitate towards A because it defines the United States as a federal corporation, which is great and all, but don't.
I actually have done that. But it's more along the lines as once you start reading the A, you know, maybe you'll follow down to the B and C, and like, because you're in a state of shock.
Forget to read B and C as well. So back to my point. Congress was never delegated the authority to lord over men and women, period. All right? Nor was the state legislature. The state legislature doesn't have the authority to govern man. Okay? There are things that we as men know better than to do. We know the difference between right and wrong. We are to honor our agreements, and we are not to rape, harm, damage, maim, injure one another. Okay? And when that transpires, because there are sinister, heathenous rat bastards out there that inflict harm on other people and do evil deeds, there is a judicial system there for us to utilize. Now, people say, well, Derek, that judiciary, it costs money. Well, that's an egregious misnomer, and it's only because you don't understand your rights that you think that you have to pay for something that you're rightfully entitled to. Because remember, you can't convert a right into a privilege, issue a fine or a fee for it, okay? The right of the people.
I'm going to pause it right there again. We've been paying attention to attorneys. The first thing you do when you get in trouble is grab attorneys. You don't research the laws yourself. You back up on somebody else. And that all becomes hearsay because you never researched it, right? So therefore, the attorneys are all about hearsay.
To have access to the judicial system, to express their grievances and find remedy, ladies and gentlemen, is a right, not a privilege. And the reason that the court system are charging people is because you're coming into an admiralty venue, okay? You're coming into an admiralty venue where they presume and assume that you're representing an entity or a corporation or an unregistered corporation. And so they naturally tell you, oh, you're filing a complaint? We're going to need $245 to file that complaint. I am here to tell you now with firsthand living knowledge and proof that I have filed a claim in district courts, federal courts, county courts, and I'm telling you right now, it requires no fiat at all. And in fact, when these people try to get me to give them something in return for justice, remember this: justice delayed is justice denied, and that's denial of due process of law. And the clerk of the court, in doing so, is making a legal determination for which her ass can't do. So we turn those over to the bar grievances, okay? And I know what you're thinking, the Bar Association. Derek, your bar grievances don't do anything. They do, ladies and gentlemen, because we escalate. We escalate. We continue to escalate. So when we go to the bar for the bar grievance, for practicing law without a license, making legal determinations and trying to force us to give them something in order for justice, that's baratray, all right? And when you know what the fuck you're doing, or you know what the fuck you're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, these people's butthole gets tighter than a duck's ass on water, right? Ain't an exaggeration. I'm not here to blow my own fucking horn. I'm here to tell you about my life's trials, tribulations, and experiences that have led to these conclusive findings that yield results, all right? Now, when the bar grievance doesn't work, we escalate it one step further, and we go ahead and we put the judicial board, judicial committee on disciplinary action on notice, okay? We put them on notice of what's going on as well. If that doesn't yield any results, you know what? I am not scared to get a hold of the secret fucking service and tell them to drop their cocks, grab their socks, and get this shit taken care of. Just cleaning up after me is a fucking nightmare. I promise you guys, all right? And you can have that same tenacity too. All right, I do not speak words that have no power or no meaning at all. I absolutely mean what I say, and there are points and times in your life where you either are going to be beat down like a dog and accept it, or you're going to rise like a phoenix, stand the fuck up with a middle finger in the air and tell these people to kiss your fucking ass. And I think it's time that you guys do that. All right? The great Donald Trump, the great white hope, ain't going to save your ass. All right? Freedom isn't free. It's in each and every one of you independently. You are the republic. You are the people. It's time for you to know this. All right? So I'm going to go on again this morning with a little more teaching, and I hope you will enjoy this. Any constitutional provisions intended to confer a benefit should be liberally construed in favor of the clearly intended and expressly designated beneficiary. Who is that, ladies and gentlemen? Remember, the preamble tells us that the Constitution is nothing more than a trust, all right? It's for our peace, our posterity, our general welfare, all right? The biggest word in there is posterity, and it's for we the people, all right? So don't forget that. The Founding Fathers didn't do this for just themselves. They saw something greater than themselves. And remember, I keep telling you guys, when I'm standing up and doing what I'm doing, it's for a purpose much greater than myself, all right? Way bigger than me. So what is your cause of action? What are you doing, and why are you doing it? And the question becomes, is it greater than yourself? All right? If it's just for you and it's selfish and it's self-indulgent and shit, just hang it up. I mean, it's a waste of fucking time. But if you find the need to accept this call to action and stand up for what's right, just, and fair, for the dignity of mankind and the betterment of mankind worldwide, not just the United States of America, ladies and gentlemen, but worldwide, all right? And this is what it takes. America really is the beacon of hope for everybody throughout the world. And I firmly believe that in my heart. Constitutional provisions intended to confer a benefit should be liberally construed in favor of the clearly intended and expressly designated beneficiary. That means when there's a conflict of interest or there's a reasonable doubt in any way, shape, or form, the tie goes to the runner, ladies and gentlemen. That'd be the American people. All right, don't forget that shit. And that's DeJammer versus Hoskill and Albany. This Constitution is...
I want to add to it, right? The Founding Fathers said, what's not in there is reserved to the people, y'all. In the short essence, that's what he's saying.
Contract in writing enforceable in a court of law pursuant to the statutes of frauds. I'm asking for a specific performance, Your Honor. In favor of me, I am the beneficiary of the contract. But in order to be the beneficiary of that trust, that contract, okay, first and foremost, equity will not aid a volunteer, so you have to acknowledge and accept that contract, all right? And you've got to bind them to it. The contract shall be enforced most favorably in my favor of the non-preparer. And that's you. If you truly believe that you have a right and you timely bring that right before a proper adjudicated authority. Now, let's talk about proper adjudicated authority. Ladies and gentlemen, you can claim to be a judge, you can claim to be a doctor, you can claim to be a fucking rocket scientist, but until your credentials are placed on and for the official record for my fucking inspection, you're nothing fucking special. All right, and even if you do have those credentials, you're still nothing fucking special. In fact, by producing those credentials, all you have proven to me is that you are subservient to me and I am your fucking boss. All right, that's how it works. So, would you mind picking that up for me real quick? Thank you. I gotta have my morning cigarette. Anyway, so when people sit on a bench and proclaim to be a judge, you know, those cross-dressers with testicles wearing a black dress trying to lord over you saying, oh, rise and summoning the dead and being all fucking weird and goofy like they're 12 years old already, all over again and pretending shit. Put them on the fucking spot. They have the onus of probandi to prove that they're non-biased, fair, and impartial. All right, that's their claim to fame, not mine. That's theirs. And so what do? We acknowledge and we accept that statement of fact upon proof. So we want a full list of all their financial endeavors. We want to know what they're invested in, how much they're invested in, whether they own psychiatric clinics, or if they're receiving any funds from outside sources that we should be privy to be able to make sure that they're fair, non-biased individuals set to rule on the matter, right? Everybody just takes this for granted and looks at them and goes, oh, well, they're a judge, Derek. They're fair and they're non-biased and they don't know you and they would never, ever violate the law. Ladies and gentlemen, that comes from people that have been indoctrinated to believe that certain people's titles make them impervious from sin or gluttony or taking advantage of people. And in fact, most of the people that take advantage of people are in positions where their title leads others to believe that they're of great esteem. You know, they're just wonderful, outstanding members of the community. Case in point, every fucking Catholic priest fucking little 10-year-old boys, all right? So don't think for a second that just because they say something, it is that way. In fact, I've come across a lot of alleged judges that are nothing more than fucking commissioners, all right, or judge pro temps, which means they're just lawyers sitting on the bench filling the seat because the actual guy or gal who may be qualified for that position is sick or on leave or on vacation or doing Lord knows what, okay? So until they prove that shit, it's hearsay, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try and make you reevaluate how you look at things and how you think about things, all right? There is nobody in Congress, nobody in the Senate, nobody in the House of Representatives that actually has a true and valid oath of fucking office, ladies and gentlemen, per the Constitution. Ask them for it. Tell them to produce it. Produce it on record or fuck off. All right? Because otherwise, all you're doing is placating that your government, while unjustly enriching yourself under a scheme and an artifice, a legal construct, if you will, while operating a business, a private for-profit business identified as Title 28, 3015 A, B, and C. All right? The United States is a federal corporation. So, when you really understand these things, you can finally stand up and tell these people to fuck off. Now, here's the other thing I want you guys to keep in mind. There's a lot of people as of late, they're like, oh, we need to change the school system. You're never going to change the school system. You want to know how you change the school system? You pull your fucking offspring out of the indoctrination program. That's how you change it. They will change when you stop complying. When you stop sending your offspring to school and you start homeschooling them, which in this day and age, in the 21st century, honestly, they'll learn more in 5 minutes on fucking YouTube than they'll learn in 8 hours sitting at a glorified babysitter club who indoctrinates your kids to just be intelligent enough to punch in at fucking 8 a.m., punch out at 5 p.m., have a beer at 4 fucking 30 and call themselves fucking free. All right? They'll learn more online in 5 to 10 minutes than they'll learn all fucking day at that public school system. All right? So just trying to help you guys out. Everybody bitched about the forced vaccinations and all that shit. All you had to do was stop complying. Remember, freedom isn't free, and sometimes you got to go against the grain. All right? I'd much rather live the life I live.
All right. These We the People news. We'll start on the next one.